Hello friends, welcome to today's lecture on vaccine and anti-sera. I know it is a topic of PSM and I am not going to bore you with repeating everything. We'll only talk about few important points which are of pharmacological importance. Before starting a lecture, let me tell you interesting history how vaccine was invented. We are currently in the era of COVID-19 under the lockdown. COVID-19 has till date killed about 2 lakh people all over the world, which is very high number. But when we compare with the smallpox, that number is very small. Smallpox in 20th century only killed 300 million people. Those who survived had a blindness, deafness, or permanent skin disfiguration. In case of COVID-19, it is spread by droplet or airborne, and fatality after getting infected from the coronavirus is nearly about 1 to 2%. In case of smallpox, the spread was similar by aerosol or a droplet. Once you come in the contact with the person, chance of getting infected was 90%, but the fatality was 40 to 60%. That is, if you get infected, chances of surviving was only 50-50. And even if you survive, you may have complications like blindness and permanent skin marks. That was the terror of the smallpox. In 18th century, it killed every 7th child born in the Russia. It was also responsible for killing about 90% of the Native American population when it first came into the America. So that was the terror of smallpox. But Edward Jenner found out the vaccine during 1796. And it was also kind of an accident that he thought that cowpox and smallpox are being produced by same virus. So he inoculated his gardener's son with the cowpox. And as a result, that boy survived from the smallpox. He tried to publish his finding, but scientific community did not accept it. They say that it is a very wild finding. He repeated his experiment in so many other children, including his own son, and again saw that this method is useful in preventing a disease. Because he was inoculating with the cowpox, from the name cow, the name vaccine came, because in the Latin word cow means vacca. So from that the vaccine word was invented, and it was the first vaccine which was invented, and it has saved more human life than any other drug has saved till date. So that is the power of vaccine. Let us start with the lecture, vaccine and anti-sera. First, we will see what is the difference between vaccine and anti-sera. Vaccine is an active form of immunization, whereas sera is a passive form of immunization. Vaccine produces long-lasting immunity, whereas sera, in case of anti-sera, the immunity is very short-lasting. But vaccine is only useful for prophylaxis before disease has occurred, whereas anti-sera has both prophylaxis as well as curative role. It can be also given after the disease has occurred. Now, vaccines. There are many types of vaccine: kill vaccine, live vaccine, and toxoid. Particularly toxoid, if we speak in pure theoretical form, toxoids are not vaccine, because according to definition, vaccine is something which is either part or complete bacterial or viral body, whereas toxoid is none of them. It is just a toxin against which we are developing antibody, but it is still included under the vaccine. Now, most important thing is to remember which type of vaccine is which type. That is what is most commonly asked in a Viva or in the exam or in the MCQ test. That whether this is a live vaccine or a killed vaccine. In case of MCQ, there will be multiple choice that find out which one of the following is live or which one of the following is a killed viral vaccine or killed bacterial vaccine. So you have to find out. So let us see which type of vaccine is which type. First of all, toxoid. From the name itself, you can remember T and D, tetanus and diphtheria, are given as the toxoid. Then live attenuated vaccine, which are two types, bacterial and for viruses. In case of bacteria, BCG and typhoid oral are live vaccine. Remember, typhoid has a 3 type of vaccine, out of which oral typhoid vaccine is a live vaccine. In case of viral, oral polio vaccine, MMR and varicella are live vaccine. You can remember one thing, that oral vaccine are usually live vaccine. And most of the vaccine given in universal immunization schedule are also a live vaccine. Now, killed vaccine. Killed bacterial vaccine include meningococcal meningitis, H. influenza, pertussis, plague, cholera and typhoid. So, other two types of typhoid vaccine are killed vaccine. Killed viral vaccine important is hepatitis, particularly hepatitis B. Then rabies vaccine. These are also killed vaccine. Influenza and polio injectable vaccine are killed vaccine. So you can remember the toxoid and live vaccine. So remaining will be a killed vaccine. Any oral vaccine are live vaccine. Most of the vaccine included in the universal immunization program except hepatitis, they are live vaccine. In case of influenza, remember that influenza is virus as well, whereas H. influenza is bacteria. Now, let us compare what is difference between live vaccine and killed vaccine. Killed vaccine, they usually required to be given by injectable route. They are usually short lasting when compared to the live vaccine. And because they are short lasting, we need to give booster dose every few months or every few years. But the advantage is there is no chance of infection. In case of live vaccine, they can be given by oral route. They are longer lasting and does not usually require booster dose. But if patient is immunocompromised, there is rare chance of infection. Vaccine usually contains an egg yolk or antibiotic along with it, and because of that, it may produce reaction. Vaccine require immunity to be trained, and so any drug which suppresses the immunity or any condition which suppresses the immunity does not produce proper immunization. That is why vaccination should be avoided with the steroid or with the respiratory diseases, because both these things suppresses the immunity. Let's talk about first vaccine, typhoid. Typhoid has 3 types of vaccine. First is TAB vaccine, which is along with the typhoid contain antigen for the paratyphoid as well. So advantage is it is effective against both typhoid and the paratyphoid, but it is a short lasting. Then there is a typhoid polysaccharide, which is another injectable killed bacterial vaccine. It is require only single dose and it provides longer lasting immunity, but it does not protect against paratyphoid. And it should not be given to child below the age of 2. Then oral typhoid vaccine. It is available as a 3 dose of Entrecotec tablet. It can be given by oral route. It has a longer lasting, higher efficacy and minimum side effect, but it is only given after the age of 5. Below the age of 5 it is contraindicated. In the pregnancy also it is contraindicated because it is live vaccine. Cholera vaccine still not available in India. Oral cholera vaccine not available. Only 50% is effective and it is shorter lasting, so not very commonly used. Pertussis, it is a highly efficacious. Not only it provides vaccination against pertussis, but it also increases the immunity against other vaccine. But it need to be given if child is below 5 years only, because after a 5 year pertussis is very rare and does not require immunization against pertussis. It is also part of triple antigen regime, that is DPT or pentavalent vaccine, which contains DPT. Along with DPT there is influenza and hepatitis vaccine in pentavalent vaccine. Then H influenza, which is a bacterial vaccine against H influenza. There is 1 to 3 doses needed to be given 2 months apart depending on age, whether child is below 1 year or above 1 year. And it can prevent meningitis and pneumonia, but the response is somewhat inconsistent. It can be given as an add-on if we want to prevent the pneumonia or meningitis in the future. Plague vaccine produces so many side effects, so it is only given during pandemic, and immunity is also short lasting, so only during pandemic the plague vaccine is. BCG is given as a powdered form, and it is available as a powdered form and need to reconstruct with the water. Its efficacy is controversial in terms of prevention of the tuberculosis, but it in general enhances the immunity. It is part of universal immunization program, one of the first vaccine to be given to the child. And apart from vaccination, rarely it is used for immunity booster in case of certain carcinomas. Polio vaccine. Oral polio vaccine, we all know about it. Intensive polio care program which try to eradicate the polio. Oral polio vaccine is given to all the child below the age of 5. Oral polio vaccine is a live vaccine, very easy to administer, and it also not only immunizes the child, but it immunizes the GIT tract of a child, so carrier state is prevented and thus it prevents the community spread. A herd immunity is produced by giving extensive oral polio vaccine to each and every child in the community. Whereas injectable polio vaccine is given in the universal immunization program. It is also suitable vaccine when given to the adult or immunocompromised patient, because it is a killed vaccine. There is no chance of production of the infection by this virus. Rabies vaccine. Rabies vaccine are available in 3 forms: purified chick embryo vaccine, human diploid cell vaccine, and purified vero rabies vaccine. All 3 are killed viral vaccine. Currently, WHO recommends high regime for the vaccination. Intradermal injection of only 0.1 to 0.2 ml of this vaccine to be given in the deltoid region. Total 5 visits and 8 injection is given on day 0, 3, 7, 28 and 90. And intradermal injection on the deltoid are 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1. Total 5 visits and 8 injection is given to produce the immunity. So this was the post-exposure prophylaxis after dog has bite. But there are also pre-exposure prophylaxis available. Pre-exposure prophylaxis is for those who are having a dog or who are animal handlers who repeatedly handles this rabbit animal. They need to take a pre-exposure prophylaxis. 3 injections on day 0, 7 and 28, and then booster dose every 2 years need to be taken till the person is working in high risk condition. Viral influenza vaccine or vaccine for swine flu, it is not very efficacious and only given during pandemic. Hepatitis vaccine. Hepatitis B vaccine is a part of universal immunization program. 3 injections on 0, 1 and 6 months need to be given. Hepatitis A, not a very common vaccine, but can be given as 0.5 ml every 6 months. So it is not very practical to give every 6 months unless there is a very high risk of getting hepatitis A. Tetanus toxoid. 2 doses 2 to 4 weeks apart of the tetanus toxoid should be given after getting injured by dirty surfaces where there is a high chance of getting a tetanus. Booster dose after 1 year is required, and then every 10 years 1 booster dose need to be given. Chloramphenicol should be avoided. Remember that in case of tetanus, the vaccine is most important because tetanus does not have any other treatment. Once tetanus occurs, it is very much fatal. DPT and pentavalent. DPT contains diphtheria, pertussis and tetanus toxoid. Pentavalent, apart from DPT, there are 2 other B in the vaccine: hepatitis B vaccine and H influenza B vaccine. So that is DPT and pentavalent. Either DPT or pentavalent given under the universal immunization program. Anti-sera. Anti-sera is a passive form of immunization. We inoculate horse or rabbit with the disease against which we want to acquire passive immunity. So, in the serum of horse or rabbit, there is an immune response is produced. We separate the serum of this horse or rabbit which is high in immunoglobulins against particular disease, and it is given to the person infected with it. But this serum contains so many proteins, and proteins are always allergic. That is why there occurs a various type of immune reaction. First is type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, which is immediate type of hypersensitivity reaction according to IgE, and it can be as severe as anaphylaxis. Second type is late reaction, which is type 3 reaction known as serum sickness, which occurs after 1 or 2 weeks. Common use of anti-sera is seen in case of snake bite, gas gangrene, diphtheria and tetanus. A second form of passive immunization, immunoglobulin. They may be specific or non-specific, but the difference from the anti-sera is that they are human origin. Currently, if you are reading a news, you may be knowing that those who have recovered from the COVID-19, their plasma is saved because their plasma contains immunoglobulins against the virus, and that immunoglobulin will be used to treat the seriously ill patient. So, they are human origin. Because they are human origin, chances of side effect is less as compared to the anti-sera. Most common use is seen in case of rabies and in hepatitis B. Anti-snake venom. It is a form of anti-sera that is derived from horse or rabbit serum, and it is a mixture of all 4 common snake poison: cobra, Russell viper, saw scale viper and kite. Because it is an animal serum, it can produce a reaction. So adrenaline should be kept ready while giving this anti-snake venom. And along with the anti-snake venom, antihistaminic and glucocorticoid should be used so it can decrease the chances of reaction. This was all about vaccine and anti-sera. Thank you very much.